my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello, my name is Loey. I've gotten very creative in my Airbnb bedroom with 2 mirror lights and just a lot of willpower and crossing my fingers that they don't fall over. So if my lighting doesn't look as good as usual in this video, I'm just not in my usual space. I honestly think I did really good. Like, in terms of execution, maybe not the best, but in terms of my effort and creativity, I feel like I get a solid like 9.5 out of 10. So today I was gonna actually be talking about something different for this video. I wanted to talk about the Zodiac Killer's cipher finally being solved, and that's going to be in an upcoming video. But as I was getting together all my information, I scrolled on over to TikTok, as I often do, and stumbled across the following video.
This is the scariest thing I've ever seen on TikTok. If you comment whatever space is, and then translate the comment, it says really cryptic, scary shit. And why is no one talking about this? It's so scary.
Now, if you're still confused after the TikTok video that I showed you, don't worry, I really was too, until I went to the comments and realized that if you press down and hold on any comment, you can actually translate it. And this is a really useful feature. If somebody is speaking another language than you can always just translate the comment and get a really quick, easy translation. A lot of the times, these translation things online, i.e. Google Translate, don't always work seamlessly, but they certainly give you a rough idea of what the other person might be saying. In this case, when you hold down on someone's comment with the over and over again, you get some pretty disturbing results. For example, on the very video that I just showed you, when I open up the comment and I do the translate feature on this comment from one Squilliam Fancy Pants, we see crying. That's a lot of fun. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. And if that doesn't make you feel relatively unnerved, I really don't know what to tell you. And this isn't a one-time fluke. When we move on to the next comment underneath, we see it is a cry for help. Suffering, 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 repeated over and over and over again. And I found that usually the likes next to someone's comment really push like the weird ones up to the top. As you can see, when we get further down, some of them talk about crying over squirrels. I don't know why, but a lot of them are just so disturbing. Like, it is a cry for help, and then suffering over and over like a dozen times. This one says, this is a very different language. This is a very different language. This is a very good religion. So now it's like these patterns of the same letters over and over and over again are giving us everything from suffering to talking about different languages and religions. The next one is cry for help, cry for help, crying for help. It's a pity, it's a pity, cry for help. What is the purpose of life, says this one. What is this? The sound is the sound, the sound. It cries out, And I think the people definitely toyed with the combinations of RI to make out their different phrases. Like, I think a lot of these were probably fine-tuned and people just experimented over and over until they figured out how to make it say certain things, especially when we have repeating phrases. The alarm bell rang. It's over. It's over. This is the second most important part. This next one says snoring over and over again. Probably the only comment on TikTok saying the word snoring a dozen times. It has 33,000 likes. Superhuman TV's comment says, it is a cry for help. It is a reflection. It's getting worse. It cries out. Cry for help. C_AVE, when you translate that comment, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Over and over again. I moved on to someone else's TikTok video and wound up seeing even more of these and thought I would give you more examples before we talk about what this could potentially be. One says, it's over, cry out, it cries, cry, cry, cry. Another says, it's weeping, it's crying, cry out, weep, weep, weep. It's a nightmare. We have a lot about it's over, suffering, suffering. Another says, it's worth it. The squirrel is the squirrel. And you know, I thought that was pretty poetic. Another says, which is. Another says, what is the meaning of the word? Another says, what is the purpose of the resurrection? And we could be here for hours diving through all of these and just dissecting them one by one, figuring out what each and every single combination of these two letters makes. But what is it? If you look beyond the countless people commenting their own rendition of the re over and over and over again, you find a lot of theories. One of the most prominent ones, at least from what I have seen, is people claiming that this is a military code that was used to tell other people in the military that things are all right or they're not all right, that there is bad things going on or everything's okay. Hence why we see suffering and a cry for help and things like that over and over again very easily, that supposedly this was used in the military. But when I basically search any iteration of RI and the word military, or even just look into military codes, you don't see it anywhere. If this is true, I cannot find a single source nor any evidence of this being so. And of course, this could be a secret military tactic, but I just don't see how there's nothing, literally nothing on record about it, if that's the case. Meanwhile, we have so much on record about other codes used in the military. So in my opinion, until that is proven to be otherwise, I don't really think I believe that, just because I've literally seen nothing. But I found an article from In the Know, basically talking about this whole phenomenon and how it popped up on TikTok. And it says, according to Google Translate, the word re and its variations could be translated as Maori. And I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly, but it is an endangered language spoken by one of the indigenous tribes of New Zealand. The word iri, on the other hand, is detected as Shona or Xhosa, one of the native languages of Zimbabwe and South Africa. A sleuth from the publication Droid Harvest dug into the Maori dictionary, where they found that riri refers to the expressions of anger, rage, fury, annoyance, and the like. It's also possible that this could be a glitch from TikTok itself that is dramatizing the translation. Now, many articles reference these three languages specifically. This article from BuzzFeed reads, of course, the most likely explanation is just that there's some AI weirdness going on with the app's translation function, especially since it looks like there's some attempts to auto-detect languages. Some are theorizing that it's attempting to translate from the three languages that I mentioned and just taking some creative liberties. So what is it? We know that TikTok has had some kind of creepy glitches on their app in the past. With the bizarre filter that I talked about a few months ago, do you guys remember the TikTok brush feature where you could like draw with your finger out little shapes and stuff? Well, there was one from TikTok where if you used your camera and the augmented reality feature basically with it, you could see into what looked like an abandoned house or location. And I talked all about that and why that might be and just the creepiness around it. But when it comes to this one, that's all I have for you. I have scoured high and low trying to find any reference of this being a code. What I will say is when you search RI, so three Rs basically, and then military code, there is this one military document that comes up talking about various codes used in the world wars. It's nearly impossible to read, it's so pixelated, but on top of that, I just saw no mention of the re or whatever anywhere there. It might just be coming up because of the military code aspect of that Google search. I don't really know. Everything else that I find is like articles talking about this. We've seen this before. This is not an isolated incident of just apps and the internet getting translation wrong. There was actually an incident a while back where Google Translate was kind of doing something similar. When you entered in dots, it would translate to something weird and creepy and ominous, but it makes you stop and like think and wonder why. Surely these applications that are so insanely advanced in just top of the line in terms of technological advances that we have. Like the fact that you can speak another language basically without ever having to learn that other language. You can just understand what anyone is saying for the most part nowadays is bananas. Of course, something that advanced and that just new is going to have some bugs and it's going to have some issues. But when you type in these phrases anywhere else, I've tried this on Twitter, I've tried it on other social media, and I don't see the same thing happening. What I kind of find very interesting about this is that that probably means that TikTok has its own translation software, because we're not seeing it anywhere else, which, like, interesting to know, I guess. I don't know anything about tech development or app development or anything like that, but I still think that's kind of like cool to note that it probably means they have their own like auto translate feature. But then on top of that, they're having a unique glitch that we're not really finding anywhere else online, at least not yet. I think that there's a lot of room for interpretation here and a lot of room for theories. You know, a lot of people are super gung-ho on the military code thing, but I still, until I'm presented with evidence of it being used, I'm just kind of like wishy-washy on that. I feel like one person said it and maybe it just kind of started a fire. If I'm wrong, listen, I'll eat my words and I'll talk about how dumb I am. But for now, I see nothing linking it to any source or anything saying it's true. So we kind of like take that out of the equation. We have these 3 words that might contain this series of letters somewhere within their language through various words and phrases and stuff. So we could have the app glitching out and taking creative liberty, as said in some of the articles that I mentioned. I don't know what else this could be, and I wish TikTok would come out and say something, but they never ever address this kind of stuff. Back when the whole like you could see a house in the virtual reality of their TikTok brush filter, they never said a word. So I'm not hopeful they will explain themselves, but I am so fascinated. My little conspiracy brain goes to this place where I'm like, okay, there are secret messages being hidden. There's a plane overhead. They're coming for me. I'm too spot on. There are secret messages hidden here, and it's how people can communicate through the app in secrecy, and there's some shady stuff going on, but I'm sure it's nothing like that. I'm sure it's literally just a glitch. It is just really creepy in execution, and I thought I would tell you about the bizarre code that is coming up on TikTok. Lots of codes we're gonna be talking about between this and the Zodiac cipher when I get to that video, but tell me what you guys think about this down below. I'm really curious if you can give me some more information on this and explain it a little bit further, or maybe give me places where I can dive deeper and do more research and find out just more about this entire situation. It would be awesome. I would love to come back and talk about this at length with hopefully an answer. And with that out of the way, I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you very, very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.